We are back live at Coletco for part 2 of tonight's live Facebook record sale. When you're on and watching, be sure to let us know, just like part 1. We're going to get started in just a moment. So let's move the camera. I always get hung on something. It's the wire to the charger. Let me lift it up over that. There we go. Let's see who's on first. Let me start condensing some crates. Pink Floyd. Let's see what I got in here. Most of these can go in here. Stephen Chesney's on. Stephen Chesney. I feel like this crate can fit in here. Stephen, you watching at SpaceX again tonight, Stephen? Are you watching again at SpaceX tonight, Stephen? Wow, that's cool. Yeah. Have you ever met Elon? If you say yes, I'm going to be so jealous of you. Or have you even got to see him? Wayne's bumped up his Adam Hartmother offer right off the bat. No, but yes, busy with his new toy, Twitter. Yeah. Well, Elon's kind of like he's kind of like my. Well, I'll put it this way: if he's speaking, I'm listening. I think he just tweeted he was doing some kind of interview with J.P. Morgan or some kind of capital firm. He was going to go live on Twitter. I'll definitely watch the replay of that tonight. If that man is speaking, I'm listening. If somebody can own SpaceX, Tesla, and I get where you can make a cash purchase for a company like Twitter, I'm definitely listening to them. You know, me being an entrepreneur, and I've always been interested in business and growing businesses. If Elon Musk is speaking, I'm listening to him. I spent hundreds of hours watching all of his interviews and this and that. So yeah, that's pretty cool. You work there. He's definitely one of my people I look up to. Yeah, he's definitely a role model for me. I mean, he's one of the. He'll go down in history as one of the world's greatest leaders. Especially when it comes to companies, running companies. Oh my gosh. Okay. What was the Neil Young in the last crate? That was Everybody Knows It's Nowhere. Wayne Titsworth, I will sell you Adam Hartmother for Let Me Think About It. Let me think about it, Wayne. I'll make you a deal on that, okay? There's something on this cover. There's something. I think it's the way it's made, but I got to check out on that Friends cover. Okay, let's go through tonight's newest new vinyl. I've got 2 copies left. Jeff Buckley Grace. Jeff Buckley Grace, $33.99. Jeff Buckley Grace. Info on Neil Young. Mr. Langford, that was let me find it. All hands on deck meeting. Wow, that's pretty cool. Wow, so he had a meeting. He's like, listen, I need to talk to everybody. Everybody in the same room. Let's go. Everybody to the conference room. Yeah, I don't know how he balances his time. I mean, I'm running a small business in Lebanon, Tennessee with about 10 employees. He's running 3 companies as a CEO. It amazes even other CEOs how he does it. Let me find that Neil Young for Mike Langford. Mike, I'm looking for it. I'm not seeing it, though. Let's see here. Neil Young, Coda. I don't think I'm in the right crate. Pink Floyd, Genesis, Cream, Led Zeppelin, Devo, Buddy Holly, Van Halen, Dire Straits, Brian Ferry, Rock's Music, Jimi Hendrix, John Auger. I've got to be close right here. Neil Young, where are you? Rubber Soul. Well, Mike, we may have sold it. Or did you see it earlier when I was condensing crates? Because I don't see. Did someone buy? Everybody knows this is nowhere? No, here it is. Here it is. $34.99. Everybody knows this is nowhere. $34.99. This is a really clean copy. I don't have a year or anything on it, but it appears to be, it's definitely not, I think this label may be OG. I've owned a Tesla since 2012. In the early days, Tesla, Elon Musk emails was active and people wrote them. He turned it off very quickly. I bet. Could you imagine? Could you imagine if that got leaked today? When he tweets, it's like has an immediate like 50,000 people like it or retweet it or reply to it. So it's amazing. Hey, I rented a Tesla in Dallas. When I went to Dallas and I had to stay there for a couple of days buying these records, I rented one. Of course, I'm planning on getting the truck whenever they finally come out this year. But I've drove a Tesla for the first time, and it is incredible how fast they are. It is incredible. Aretha Franklin, Lady Soul, $31.99. I was speeding all over Dallas. Aretha Franklin, Lady Soul, that's on clear vinyl, $31.99. NXS Kick is $29.99. The Best of Bauhaus, $36.99. Amel and the Sniffers, $31.99. That's self-titled. Van Halen self-titled is $31.99. And somebody asked for House of Pain. House of Pain Fine Malt Lyrics is $36.99. $36.99. Does Elon have a Seth? No, that's probably why he's Elon. He don't have a Seth. Mike Langford, I'll sell you that for $30. Jared wants a copy of Crimson Glory. That was from a crate earlier in the night, but I still have those. That was Crimson Glory Transcendence. Let me figure out what I did with those. That was Crimson Glory Transcendence. That is sold to Jared. Whoever asked about Fine Malt House of Pain, that's sold to Neil Langford for $30. I've got Alice in Chains Facelift for $36.99. Alice in Chains Facelift, that's $36.99. Jeff Buckley is available. Jeff Buckley Grace is $33.99. Jeff Buckley Grace, $33.99. Aretha Franklin, $31.99. NXS Kick, $29.99. Bauhaus is $36.99. Amel and the Sniffers, $31.99. Van Halen, $31.99. House of Pain, Jump Around, $36.99. Alice in Chains, Facelift. Days of the New, $44.99. Music on vinyl press. We have Pantera, Cowboys from Hell, $34.99. Hootie and the Blowfish, $29.99. And Rush, Power Windows, the Manhattan Transfer, or excuse me, the Manhattan Project. The Manhattan Project. The Big Money, Grand Designs. I like that one. I like that entire side one really well. Power Windows, $36.99. And Austin Jeff Buckley Grace is $33.99. You need that in your life. You need that. You need that. Okay, let's run a couple Japanese auctions while everybody's kind of just hanging out. See what I'm going to show for part 2. I've got a couple more Japanese 7 inches. By the way, the Zombies is still available for a $20 buy it now. That's time of the season. That's a $20 buy it now. I've got the Eagles, and I've got Creedence. This is Have You Ever Seen the Rain? And let's see what the flip is. Have you ever seen the rain? And Hey Tonight. That is a $20 start. That's a Creedence Japanese 7 inch. Let me check the vinyl on those. Not all these are pristine. This one's very nice, near mint and pristine. Yes, very nice on the Creedence. $20 start on that. And the Eagles, We have Hotel California. That's a good one. And the flip is Pretty Maids All in a Row. That is a $20 start on the Eagles and $20 start on Credence. Sell Brent Rabley Time of the Season for $15. That's sold to Brent Rabley for $15. You got it. All right, there's another one. I'll run that in a second. All right, so new arrivals. New Japanese arrivals. Or excuse me, not new Japanese arrivals, new vintage arrivals. I think I'm going to keep this. I'm going to go ahead and let y'all know. I want to make sure I don't already have it, but I think I'm going to keep this Walter Cronkite box. Let me pull it out and look at it. It's sealed, and I think I want to open it. It's a radio state. Let me make sure. Yeah, I think I'm going to keep this because I think the last one, I'm pretty sure Alex Roman bought, and then I regretted it. It's a Walter Cronkite spoken word telling a lot about the 60s. I think I'm going to keep that. Okay, everything else is for sale. Looking for $20 starts on those. We have Creedence Clearwater Revival, Willie and the Poor Boys. $34.99 for Willie and the Poor Boys. That is a really nice copy. I think it's a later pressing, but that's a dark blue fantasy label, $34.99. Kevin is at 20 on the Eagles. Kevin's at 20 on the Eagles. We got two Japanese singles up here. Angela Chesney first on CCR. Susie Breedlove second. The Best of the Guess Who Live. Never seen that before. This is $24.99. The Best of the Guess Who Live. We're going through new vintage arrivals. New vintage arrivals. These have not been shown before. Michael Jackson Bad. $29.99. Michael Jackson Bad. $29.99. Michael Jackson Bad. Hank Williams Moaning the Blues. That's another early one, I believe. Unfortunately, it has writing all over it. Oh my gosh. Like somebody wrote a book on the back of it. This is a black MGM reissue. $34.99. What a cool cover, though. That's not one we get into often. $34.99. Hank Williams Moaning the Blues. Neil Young and the Shocking Pinks. Everybody's rocking. That's $19.99 for Neil Young. We sold one of those earlier, I'm pretty sure. Wednesday morning, 3 a.m., Simon and Garfunkel. Simon and Garfunkel. Original, Columbia 2i. That's a stereo press. Very nice condition, $14.99. Genesis. This is selling in England by the pound. This is a 2014 200 gram, or excuse me, 180 gram. It's pressed at Palace. $29.99. $29.99 for Genesis. Selling in England by the pound. Jimi Hendrix, Band of Gypsies. Band of Gypsies. The cover front of the cover has some wear. Very clean, nice vinyl, $29.99. Kevin, you're out on the Eagles. Brent McKinney has that for $21, going once, going twice. If anybody wants CCR, it's a $20 buy it now. Have you ever seen The Rain and Hey Tonight? Japanese 7-inch from Credence. That's a $20 buy it now. First come, first serve. Darren Meyer first on Genesis. That's sold to Darren Meyer. We have Elvis Moody Blue in shrink wrap and the hype stickers. The Blue album. His last studio album that was released while he was alive on Earth. And that is $34.99 because we all know he didn't really die and he's on Mars right now. Right, Tanner? Who? Elvis. Oh, yeah. No, he's not on Mars. He's dead. Unfortunately. You've seen Elvis in concert. That's something special. Fleetwood Mac Mirage, $19.99. Final Call on the Eagles at $21. Neil Young Reactor, $19.99 for Neil Young Reactor in shrink wrap. Neil Young. We have Zappa, Frank Zappa, Ship Arriving Too Late to Save a Drowning Witch. And this is $29.99. $29.99. It's Howdy Doody time. Howdy Doody, $14.99 in shrink wrap. Very nice. Howdy Doody. Successful automotive selling. Wow, this is heavy. 1963, $19.99. Successful automotive selling. Bachelor of Automobiles. It has a book, a degree with it. It's 2 LPs and it's quite heavy. Look at those cars. Those are some kind of concept cars. 1963. Could you imagine if they did make stuff like that in the 60s? There's some that kind of look like that. I guess the car that actually ended up being the Batmobile kind of looked like that. Genesis Foxtrot, $24.99. The Beatles Super Tracks 2. The Beatles Super Tracks 2, 1973 unofficial, $44.99. Huh. The Eagles is sold to Brent McKinney for $21. Brent McKinney, you get that for $21. Japanese, they're right here. Eric Clapton, Behind the Sun, and let's do Journey. 2 new Japanese pressings. Eric Clapton, Behind the Sun. Eric Clapton, Behind the Sun. This has got a small feeler on it. That's what Seth said. Let's take a look at that. He said, well, I don't know how he catches this stuff. Oh, that's insignificant. That don't even matter. This is a very nice record. Don't listen to Seth. This is Eric Clapton, Behind the Sun. We're going to put this up, though, just for a $25 start, just because it does have that mark on it. That will not matter whatsoever. I promise you, 100% guarantee from Chad Williams. Eric Clapton, Behind the Sun, that's a $25 start. And Journey Frontiers is a $35 start. This is a very nice, nothing wrong with this one. Near Mint and Pristine. Near Mint and Pristine. There's the insert. There's the other Japanese insert. There's the cover with the obi. That's a $35 start for Journey. Eric Clapton's a $25 start. Okay. BC Records presents Get Back to Toronto, another Beatles unofficial, $44.99. His Greatest Hits, Volume 1, Bo Diddley. Bo Diddley is $19.99. Bo Diddley, $19.99. Steve Gaines, One in the Sun. Steve Gaines is $34.99. Michael Jackson's Greatest Hits is $24.99. An Evening in Nervam, The Music of the Shadows, $19.99. Raw and Alive, The Seeds in Concert, Maryland's Music Box. That's on Pickwick. How weird. $19.99. The top seam does have a split. Total Confusion, a homeboy, a hippie, and a funky dreado. That is EX $24.99. That's a 1990 Belgium press. Working Class Hero, a tribute to John Lennon. Wow. 1995 white vinyl, $74.99. This has the Red Hot Chili Peppers, Mad Season, Candlebox, Blues Traveler, Screaming Trees, The -5, Flaming Lips, Cheap Trick, Toad the Red Spocket, Collective Soul, George Clinton, Mary Carpenter. That's a 1995 white vinyl pressing, $74.99. A tribute to John Lennon, Working Class Hero. I didn't know that even existed. Pink Floyd, a collection of great dance songs. If you missed one earlier, here's another one, $44.99. Pink Floyd, a collection of great dance songs. Red Hot and Bothered, the Indie Rock Guide to Dating, $14.99. The Beatles, live in Washington, D.C., $44.99. Another Beatles bootleg, $44.99. Cody Chandler on Pink Floyd. Tanner, that one was $44.99. We sold one earlier. Cody Chandler on Pink Floyd. Final call on these auctions before I make them buy it nows. Saturday Night Fever. Saturday Night Fever is $19.99. Paul Brothers wants the Working Class Hero, John Lennon tribute. That's sold to Paul Brothers. Whoa. I had my 45s balanced perfectly, Tanner. I finally watched the documentary on the rise and fall of Tower Records. Highly recommend. I've already watched it. I want to watch it again. Yes, that's very good. Very good, especially if you like records. They had $1 billion in sales, and then the next year they were bankrupt. Elvis, $19.99. Elvis, it happened at the World's Fair, $19.99. Very, very clean. Popeye, $19.99. Popeye soundtrack, $19.99. Boy, he did have some big forearms. Willie Nelson Partners is $14.99. Eric Clapton, Slow Hand. Very nice looking copy. $34.99. I remember peeking at that one. Does have a little bit of cover damage down here at the bottom. All right, if anybody wants Eric Clapton, this is a $25 buy it now. Take advantage. Eric Clapton's a $25 buy it now. $25 buy it now. If you want it, it's here. You can buy it. That's sold to Gerard. Journey is a $35 buy it now. First come, first serve. Journey is a $35 buy it now. Yeah, in Japan, they want U.S. pressings. Here, we want Japanese pressings. You always want what you can't have. You get the OB on this one. There we go. Journey's a $35 buy it now. John Young offered $19.99 for Steve Gaines. Let me find that. Let's see. That was right here. Nope, not that one. Let me think on that one. Let me think on that one. Let me put some thought into that. 20. Robin Trower, Bridge of Sighs. Robin Trower, Bridge of Sighs, $24.99. Casino Royale. Has nothing to do with Daniel Craig. $19.99. Casino Royale. Very cool cover, though. Very cool cover. McKendree Spring Suite, $19.99. And the U Crew, If You Were Mine. The U Crew is sealed from 1989. I'm going to Tower Records of Tokyo in August. So I'm in the early phases of considering going to Tokyo myself, Paul. I was hoping your trip was sooner than August because I was going to get details from you after you went. But yeah, it's like on my agenda right now to go to Tokyo, maybe even this year. Trust me, I've already looked at plane tickets. I'm like, I got to go over there and just visit, buy some records. Pretty cool. Okay, let's go through that crate one more time. The Best of the Guess Who Live, $24.99. Michael Jackson Bad was $29.99. Hank Williams, Moanin' the Blues, $34.99. Neil Young is $19.99. Wednesday Morning, 3 a.m., $14.99. Simon and Garfunkel. Jimi Hendrix is $29.99, although plane tickets are not cheap, especially if you're going one way. If you're going there and you don't really know when you're coming back, it's expensive. Elvis, Moody Blue, $34.99, blue vinyl. Fleetwood Mac Mirage is $19.99. Neil Young Reactor is $19.99. Frank Zappa was $29.99. It's Howdy Doody time, $14.99 for Howdy Doody. Successful Automotive Selling. I want to say automobile. Successful Automotive Selling. That was $19.99. Genesis Foxtrot, $24.99. Beatles Boot, $44.99. Beatles Boot, $44.99. Bo Diddley's Greatest Hits, $19.99. The Jackson 5's Greatest Hits, $24.99. Some great songs on that. No one's grabbed that. I Want You Back, ABC. I'll Be There, maybe tomorrow. Going Back to Indiana. I like that one. $24.99. An Evening in Nirvana. The Shadows, $19.99. The Seeds in Concert, Raw and Alive, $19.99. Total Confusion, a homeboy, a hippie, and a funky dreado. EX $24.99, 1990, Belgium. We have Red Hot and Bothered. That is $14.99 for Red Hot and Bothered. The Beatles live in D.C., another Beatles boot, $44.99. Clay Moore wants the Seeds. That's sold to Clay Moore. Saturday Night Fever is $19.99. It Happened at the World's Fair. Elvis is $19.99. Popeye is $19.99. Willie Nelson Partners is $14.99. Eric Clapton Slow Hand is $34.99. Steve Gaines, One in the Sun, $34.99. Gold stamp promo and hype sticker. Robin Trower Bridge of Sighs, $24.99. Casino Royale, Burt Bacharach, $19.99. McKendree Spring Suite, $19.99. And U Crew, the U Crew, If You Were Mine, sealed from 1989, 1999. If somebody buys Journey Frontiers for $35, I'll put up 2 new Japanese auctions. Someone's got to buy this, though. So it's up to somebody watching to determine the fate of our next Japanese auctions. Let's go through a little bit of new vinyl I've got here on the table right quick. And don't want to lose that sheet for tonight. I want to go through this crate right here that has some of these albums in it. Burt Jordan wants Elvis. It happened at the World's Fair. That's sold to Burt Jordan. And I want to go through this crate right here. I'm going to have to shift a few things around, but I can do that. I got to work on some more 45s tonight and get some of that stuff priced again from the Murfreesboro collection. I still have stuff from that Murfreesboro collection. Yes. Yes, I do. Let me shift this one down. Pull this one out. Shift this one back over. And slide this one in. Okay. John Porter said he'd give 20 for the Jacksons. Sure. Now, the only deal I hadn't reached is with John Young, and that's just because his offer was a little bit too low. Sell that to John Porter for 20. Yeah, the Murfreesboro collection. That's coming. More of that tomorrow. All right, so new vinyl. We have Creedence Clearwater Revival Chronicle. This is their 20 greatest hits. Creedence Clearwater Revival Chronicle. Their 20 greatest hits, $36.99 for Chronicle. I have 2 copies left of Cheap Thrills. This is Big Brother and the Holden Company. Big Brother and the Holden Company, Cheap Thrills, $69.99. That's a 2 LP MoFi pressing. 2 LP MoFi pressing of Cheap Thrills, Big Brother and the Holden Company. I don't have many of these left again, and that's Tonic Lemon Parade. Tonic Lemon Parade is $38.99. That's a music on vinyl pressing. White Zombie Astro Creep 2000. That is $38.99. It actually don't have a price on it. I need a sticker of that. White Zombie is $38.99. Tedeschi Trucks Band Made Up Mind, $44.99. That's a 2 LP music on vinyl pressing. Tedeschi Trucks Band. Marvin Gaye Collected, $44.99. This is a 2 LP, the best of Marvin Gaye, the best of the best, including his duets, including his early stuff, and some of his last hits, Sexual Healing, Got to Give It Up. Those are $44.99. Paul Brothers wants CCR. That was Chronicle. Steve Henry said he will take Steve Gaines for $34.99. John Young, I'm just making sure you don't want it at full price. If not, we're going to sell it to Steve Henry. Just let me know. It's still yours if you want it, but if you're passing, I've got to sell that to Steve Henry for $34.99. Okay. Whiplash. Ticket to Mayhem. Limited edition 1000 on individually numbered green vinyl. $46.99 for Whiplash. Numbered on the back, 369. That is $46.99. Erasure. The Innocents. Erasure is $29.99. That's new and sealed. That has the hit song Chains of Love on it. $29.99. So Steve Henry does get the Steve Gaines for $34.99. Ozzy, Diary of a Madman. That's red and black swirl vinyl. $38.99. That is colored vinyl Ozzy. There's another Tonic Lemon Parade. And there's another CCR if anybody else wants one. There's another CCR that Paul got. There's another one. 2 copies of Steel Panther, Balls Out, $44.99 for Steel Panther. Music on vinyl exclusive pressing, $44.99. Cinderella, Long Cold Winter. I've got 2 copies available of Cinderella, Long Cold Winter. That is $38.99. Austin says he wants an Ozzy. Sell that to Ozzy. Or sell that to Austin. We're going to sell the Ozzy to Austin. Steve Vai presents Gash, one of the newest Steve Vai releases. $29.99. Not really a pleasant cover to look at, but this was recorded in 1991. First time it was released. Permanent Waves. I didn't mention this one earlier when I was naming off all the Ozzy albums, or excuse me, I got Ozzy on my mind. All the Rush albums we have in stock, $39.99. Direct Metal Mastering, 180 gram. Begin the Day with a Friendly Voice, Spirit of the Radio, Free Will, Jacob's Ladder, Natural Science. Rush Permanent Waves is $39.99. Cake Fashion Nugget, $33.99. No night songs yet, Jared. I may have to get them from somewhere else, which means I've got to pay more, but I'll still probably be able to do $39.99. So let me check on that. I've been trying to get them from my main distributor for music on vinyl. They're a lot cheaper. I can keep my costs down. I can keep your costs down. Most of the time, I can get music on vinyl titles. Even if I say I can't get it, that means I don't want to get it from somewhere else because it costs more. And I can get it direct if we just kind of wait for a restock to happen. So I have them ordered, and that's kind of what we have there. So Austin also wants a Permanent Waves, a fantastic decision. Permanent Waves sold to Austin as well. We have David Bowie, A Divine Symmetry. This is a new remix of Hunky Dory. Well, he changed his appearance. Of course, you know, he went through all of his characters and different stuff, but, I mean, he looks completely different there than he did, let's say, on Heroes or even his earlier stuff before that. It always looks different. Ghost, Pope Star, $28.99, Milky Clear Vinyl. Meshuggah, limited edition, 2,500 copies on red vinyl, $34.99. One of my last copies on hand of Disturbed, The Sickness, $29.99. And here's my kind of one of my favorite Rush. Well, it's hard to say. Scratch what I said. I highly recommend this Rush. It's overlooked. This is $36.99. Rush, Hold Your Fire. Now, I think what everybody's telling me, this is for sure 200 grams. I'm pretty sure this one's for sure 200 grams. It actually comes in a resealable baggie. Let me take a peek at this. So this is brand new, but it just comes in a resealable baggie. Yeah, that definitely feels like it. Of course, 20 grams, the difference is almost unnoticeable. This is not a bad Rush album. It's one of my favorites. I mean, it's in my top 3. Force 10, Time Stands Still, Open Secret, Second Nature, Prime Mover, Lock and Key, Mission, Turn the Page, Tasha. I like all of them. High Water, I like all of them. I like every one of them. Okay, Susie wants Ghost, Pope Star, that's sold to Susie. Chris Kirkley on Permanent Waves, that's sold to Chris Kirkley. We're all of a sudden getting low stock. There's Permanent Waves. Austin wants a Hold Your Fire. Austin, that's sold to you. Overlooked. It's great. It is fantastic. Chris, you know that. Rob said he'd give 30 for Journey. Is All the World Stage. We don't really know what Rush records are being pressed when. The only one I've got a notification for so far this week is their self-titled first album. That's their self-titled first album. It's a box set. Sell Rob Long Journey for $30. Sell Rob Long Journey for $30. All the World's a Stage. I got them back ordered. We're just kind of waiting. Susie wants a Hold Your Fire. Time Stands Still. Wow. What a song. Neil knew how to write the lyrics. That's for sure. Okay, I've got a couple other Japanese presses. I said if we sold that one, I would put up 2 new ones. So I'm a man of my word. And we have Flash Gordon. OG. Well, let me retract that. I'm pretty sure it is. I'll say it's not of course, we don't know if it's a new pressing. But this is Flash Gordon, original soundtrack, music by Queen. These are embossed. I'm pretty sure this is the OGO because I looked this one up one time. This is a $55 start, Flash Gordon Queen soundtrack. Very nice vinyl, near mint and pristine. There's the original anti-static that came with it. There's the original inner sleeve. There's another insert. There's another Japanese insert. And then there's the cover with Obi. That's a $55 start. $55 start for Flash Gordon, original soundtrack. We had a 180 gram copy earlier. That's a vintage Japanese pressing. It may be the first Japanese pressing. And then George Harrison. This is Somewhere in England. This is a $40 start. George Harrison, Somewhere in England. Looks unplayed. Near mint vinyl. There's the original inner sleeve. There's a George Harrison discography solicitation. There's the Japanese insert, and then there's the cover. The back of the cover has a little bit of foxing on it. Not really that bad at all. And that is I think I said a $40 or $45 start. I really can't remember. But bid in the comments if you want in on that. I'm new here, so how can I pay if I want something? Joe, if you see something you want, like if you want something in this crate, just comment whatever you want. So like if you want to rush, hold your fire, just put rush, hold your fire, or hold your fire, or HYF. That will be sold to you. I will recognize you're a first-time buyer, or Tanner will. We've got Tanner here. Sometimes there's 2 other people here helping me near the end of the week when we're finalizing the week sales. We will send you, after you send us a message, we will send you an invoice on Monday. We do all of our invoicing 1 day a week on Monday. That easy. Nigel's at $40 on George Harrison. I don't have an All Things Must Pass handy. Do I have them? Yes, but I just don't have one handy. And taking names yet. No, I don't want to take names until I know that we're getting a shipment. If I know we're getting a shipment, that tells me they just pressed a bunch and we're getting a shipment like this morning or yesterday morning I woke up or yesterday evening I woke up and those were in our bins and or those were in our cart, the Rush, and I was like, wow, we're getting the Rush first album back in stock. So, yeah. When I know we're getting some, I'll post a pre-order. And it'll be in the group. Okay. I have a feeling y'all want to see new vintage vinyl. Or more vintage vinyl for the last part here of part 2. So let me figure out what's going on. Let me put all my crates back in order. Let me move this one back here. Let me move this one over here. And I'm getting my legs stretched if y'all can't tell. Oh, I've been standing on my right leg for several hours now. Do we want to go back through tonight's newest arrivals or go back through a random crate just that's laying around here? I got like random crates of vinyl from the last couple weeks or so. That might be best. Or I can go fill up a crate of half-off vintage. That might be the easiest thing. Let me go fill up a crate of half-off vintage. I got plenty I need to get to anyway over here. I feel like y'all would like that better anyway, half-off vintage. Let's see here. Part 2, we usually put something on sale, and it's usually half-off vintage. Well, there's some good stuff. Hey, there's a Grand Funk album. We need that guy to tune in. I got to tell everybody about that guy. He may be watching. Let's see what I got here. Can I fit the rest of these in here? Maybe. Yeah. All right. We've got about 20 million records to go through. Brent said a random one half off. Recent randoms half off. I don't like sitting. Okay. Final call if anybody wants to get on Queen before I make it a buy it now. This will be a $55 buy it now. And final call, Nigel has George Harrison for $40. Final call. Let's do this crate. It's half off vintage. I'm going to show you the record. I'm going to tell you the half off price. It's first come, first serve. First come, first serve, okay? Half off. 60 million Buffalo. $12.50. Nevada jukebox. 60 million Buffalo. Let me get them where they'll stand up. I got to sell a few out of here first. The crate's got a little bit too few in it. Steel Eye Span. Rocket Cottage. Rocket Cottage. $10 for Steel Eye Span. The Pentangle Sweet Child. $20. The Pentangle Sweet Child. $20. The Surfers. Hit movie songs from exotic islands. $7.50. Sweet Love Feelings. Jerry Reed. Jerry Reed. $7.50. Mel McDaniel. Stand Up. $7.50. The Other Side, Rock Crossing, $10. Judy Garland, I Feel a Song Coming On. That is sealed, $10. Art Garfunkel, Breakaway, $5 for Art Garfunkel. Joy, Apollo 100, $5 for Joy, Apollo 100. Richard Harris, His Greatest Performances, $7.50. Brian Hyland, The Joker Went Wild, $6.50. The Bellamy Brothers, The Two and Only, $5 on the Bellamy Brothers. Cheap Trick at Budokan, just $10. What's that doing in there? Cheap Trick at Budokan, $10 for Cheap Trick at Budokan. Looks like the cover got a little wet. It has. The cover's got a little wet. It's a gatefold. It has the book with it, but it looks like it got a little wet at one point. That might be why it's still here. But it's only $10 now. Mary Hopkin Postcard is $12.50. Anthony Braxton, 5 pieces, 1975, $12.50. New and Now, Sue Rainey, $5. Austin Cokel says he'll take the Cheap Trick. That's sold for Austin. And while we're selling stuff, let's go ahead and sell Nigel Rocket for the George Harrison for $40. If anybody wants Flash Gordon's a $55 buy it now. $55 buy it now. Webb Pierce, Country Favorites, $5. Michael Franks, Sleeping Gypsy, $5. Alice in Wonderland, that's a VG copy. Disney, $5. It's a VG copy. Elvis Presley, The Sun Years, Interviews and Memories, $12.50 for Elvis Presley, The Sun Years, $12.50. Savoy Brown, Jack the Toad, $12.50. Johnny Rivers, L.A. Reggae, that is $7.50 in shrink wrap. You're a Big Boy Now, The Lovin' Spoonful, featuring Darlin' Come Home Soon, $7.50 for The Lovin' Spoonful. The Lovin' Spoonful, Everything Playing, $7.50. Sharks is $7.50. Sharks, $7.50. Alice in Wonderland, sold to Tracy Tallman. That's sold to Tracy. Argent Nexus, $10 for Argent Nexus. Garland Jeffries, Escape Artist, $7.50. Python Lee Jackson, In a Broken Dream, $15 for Python Lee Jackson, $15. Second Wind, Brian Auger's Oblivion Express, $12.50. Brian Auger's Oblivion Express. Nigel wants Nexus, that's Argent. Nigel also wants Python Lee Jackson. Nigel, 2 for 2. Paul Cantor and Grace Slick, Sunfighter. This has the poster with it, $12.50. Nice copy with poster. Half off at $12.50. Albion Duwa, Cat Mother, and the All Night Newsboys, $15. E. Cummings reads his poetry, $10. Renaissance, Timeline, $5. Dizzy Gillespie y Michato, Afro-Cuban Jazz Moods, $10. Human Sexual Response, Fig 14, $7.50. The Moody Blues, Every Good Boy Deserves Favor, $10 on the Moody Blues. The Byrds, Bird Maniacs, $10 on the Byrds. Fall Into Spring, Rita Coolidge, $5. John Fitzgerald Kennedy, a memorial album. I usually say I'd rather not put these on sale and just keep them all. But we have a bunch of them. So $10. If not, I got like an entire crate full of those. Don't ask me why. Moody Blues sold to Burt Jordan. Neil Young, American Stars and Bars, $17.50. Jefferson Starship, Modern Times, $10. The Cretones, Thin Red Line, $5. Country Joe McDonald, starring in Hold On, It's Coming, $10. Lydia, Code Blood, $12.50. Billy Cobham, Inner Conflicts. Billy is $7.50. Pro Use Direct Cutting Series, Emergency, Counting Buffaloes. 1976 Japan, $49.99, so that's half off at $25. Joan Baez, David's Album, $5. Grand Funk, Survival. Grand Funk is $10. There's a guy, anytime we run a Facebook ad, he'll comment and he'll say, I'm not buying a single thing from this store until they start appreciating Grand Funk and putting them in our hot pictures. So the first time we ever seen a comment from him, he commented on our post, he said, that's a lot of great records, but you're leaving out the greatest rock band of all time, Grand Funk. And I just kind of read it and didn't do anything. And then the next thing, the next time I saw a comment, he was like, seriously? Another hot post without Grand Funk? Obviously, you're missing out on the greatest rock band of all time. And then today he commented, he said, I'm not making a purchase from you until you put Grand Funk in a hot picture. And I replied, I said, hey man, if you just tune in tonight, I'll sell you like 20 of them. And we didn't get a reply. Beatles songs, We Love You Beatles, $12.50. Dan Aykroyd, Dr. Detroit, that is $12.50. Dan Aykroyd, Dr. Detroit. This is $12.50 for the Dr. Detroit soundtrack. Savoy Brown, Rock and Roll Warriors is $10. Where do you go to my lovely? Peter Sardist. That is $5. The Cal Seals in Concert, $6.50. All songs recorded live, includes their smash hit, Hair. The Members at the Chelsea nightclub, $10. The Blow Monkeys, Animal Magic, $7.50. Argent, Ring of Hands, Argent is $10. Julian Lennon, Valette, $5. Jim Kweskin and the Jug Band, $10. There Are People and There Are People. Very strange. $7.50. Johnny Taylor, In Control, $10. Nigel wants Ring. That was the Argent, I'm pretty sure, right? Yeah, Ring of Hands. That's sold to Nigel. Angela Chesney on JL, Julian Lennon. That's sold to Angela Chesney. The Jerk by the Larks. That is $12.50. Wow. Seems like a good deal for that record. I may be wrong, but I think that's the original. Nice condition, too. Terms of Endearment soundtrack. Terms of Endearment, that's $10. The Bob Crew Orchestra, $5. Aretha, Who's Zooming Who, is $10. Derek wants People Are There. And There Are People. This one here, There Are People and There Are People. I think Derek's claiming that. Derek always claims the obscure stuff. Can't Hold Back, Pure Prairie League, $7.50. Suspicion, Terry Stafford, $7.50. Brent Rabley wants The Jerk. That's sold to Brent Rabley. Susie Breedlove on JF. What was JF? Grand Funk, maybe? All right. I can tell that guy we sold a Grand Funk album. He probably won't reply to me. Cockney Rebel, $12.50 for Cockney Rebel. Gene Autry, $5. Moody Blues, Question of Balance, $7.50 for Question of Balance. Animotion, Strange Behavior, $10. And Manfred Mann's Solar Fire, $7.50. Manfred Mann's Solar Fire, $7.50. Okay. Now what? We got a few minutes left here for part 1. Don't forget, we're doing this again tomorrow. We're doing this again Thursday. No sell on Friday, and then maybe we do it again Saturday. I'm not for sure yet. Sean says, Dizzy for 5. Anybody want to make an offer on anything in here? Be my guest. It's almost midnight. You are sticking here. You're wanting to buy records. I'm wanting to sell them to you. I would love to empty this crate out. We can do it. You just got to start throwing offers out there. Sean says, Dizzy for 5. This one right here. Sell that to Sean for $5. We had Brent Rabley, 8 on members. 8 on members. That's sold to Brent Rabley for $8. Scott Smith on MM for 5. That's Manfred Mann. Sell that to Scott Smith for 5. Sell Craig Thomas, Human Sexual Response for $5. Human Sexual Response, Fig 4. That is somewhere right in here. Give me a second. Right here. Sell that to Craig for 5. And then sell Wayne Sunfighter and Starship for 15. Sunfighter and Starship. There's Starship, and then Sunfighter was a little further back. Let me see if I can get my finger on that. Where are you? Maybe it wasn't. Let's see. Well, I like seeing these offers come in. There it is. All right, sell both of those to Wayne. We'll just call that $750, both for 15. Nigel said the Beatles songs for 9. Sell that to Nigel. Both Savoy for $15. Let me find those for Brent Rabley. Both Savoy Brown. And then I'll read through the titles one more time just so as a reminder of some of the things in here. You may be seeing them as I'm flipping through, but there's one loving spoonful. I just seen somebody asked about that. Well, I just skipped over them. Let me pay closer attention. Looking for Loving Spoonful and Savoy Brown. Let's see here. I'm very familiar with those albums. There's one Savoy Brown. And the other one was right in here. Sell these two to Brent Rabley for $15. And then Sherry Darnell, Loving Spoonful, Bun of 2. I know we have one. Let me see if I find another one. All right, let me read the titles while I'm doing that. Animotion, Moody Blues, Gene Autry, Terry Stafford, Pure Prairie League, Aretha Franklin, Cockney Rebel, Bob Crew, Terms of Endearment, Johnny Taylor, Jim Queskin, Blow Monkeys, Cal Seals, Peter Sarstedt, maybe. The Dr. Detroit soundtrack, Bark. That's Jefferson Airplane, Bark. Joan Baez, Emergency, Count Buffaloes, Billy Cobham, Lydia, Country Joe McDonald, The Cretones, Neil Young, Rita Coolidge, The Byrds, Renaissance, E.E. Cummings, Cat Mother, Brian Auger, Garland Jeffries, Sharks. There's one Loving Spoonful. There's the other. Sherry, we had $7.50 and $7.50. I'll say both of them for $12. 6 and 6. 6 and 6. I'm sure Sherry's going to say yes. We had Brent McKinney, Moody Blues for 5. We'll do that. And then I've got my first counter offer. I can't quite sell Neil Young for 5. But let me take a look at it. This cover is always worn. I don't know why, just always is. The half off price was $17.50. Angela, I'll sell that to you for $10. I'll sell that to you for $10. Sherry said sold on Loving Spoonful. Those were 6 and 6. He got Moody Blues for 5. The Cat Mother price was, the half off price, Derek, was $15. The half off price was $15. Very nice copy. Albion Duwa, Cat Mother, and the All Night Newsboys. Angela Chesney said sold, and that was for Neil Young, $10. Now, I didn't finish reading all those titles. I got to Brian Auger, Garland Jeffries, Sharks, Johnny Rivers, Elvis Presley, Michael Franks, Webb Pierce, Sue Rainey, Anthony Braxton, Mary Hopkin, Bellamy Brothers, Brian Hyland, Richard Harris, Joy, Art Garfunkel, Judy Garland, The Other Side, Mel McDaniel, Jerry Reed, The Surfers, Pentangle, 60 Million Buffalo, and Still I Span. Sell Derek Paris, Cat Mother for 10. Sold to Derek Paris. Hey, we made a dent in those. Remember, I couldn't flip through it earlier. Like you are for JFK. Yep. I've been studying this guy since I was a kid. Always fascinated. His life, his presidency, his assassination. Dale Sanders says emergency $16. You got it. That was the more pricier record in the bin, but I will sell it to you for $16. He reminded me that there's no Obi. Excellent negotiation tactic. Sell that to Dale Sanders for $16. I don't want to have to list that on Discogs. That's probably where it was going after the night. And I missed a comment. Burt Jordan wants the Elvis Presley at half off, and that was $12.50 to Burt Jordan. Where are we at? We're at Coletco. Thank you, Tanner. I forgot where we were at. We're at Coletco. Anybody else? Let's just call it a night there. We have a meeting. Me and Tanner has a meeting tomorrow with my business partner and my accountant, and we have to get some stuff ready. We have a lot of stuff going on with sales tax. It's a big headache. Out-of-state sales tax. So we've got to get ready for that. When we'll be back tomorrow at 7 o'clock. We'll be back tomorrow at 7 o'clock for new vintage arrivals from Dallas and the Texas collections and other stuff John digs up out of the back. I'll have more 45s. I'll have new Murfreesboro records, and then we didn't even touch any of the Japanese stuff hardly. All those Japanese records I read off earlier, we didn't hardly do any of them. So, a couple more questions. We got Craig Thomas says, Anthony, $5. Let me figure out what Anthony was. Anthony, $5. Anthony, $5. Anthony, $5. Anthony Braxton, maybe? This one, 5 pieces. Is that what you're offering? 5 for Craig? If so, sold. Does the Nigel not Nigel, he asked the question, does the Mary Hopkin have shrink? I don't think so. The Mary Hopkin postcard on Apple, I don't think I've seen shrink wrap. Or maybe, no shrink wrap. Not a bad cover. $24.99. Produced by Paul McCartney, I believe. Produced by Paul McCartney, recorded in England, I'm sure at Abbey Road. $24.99, Mary Hopkin. That's also my bucket list. I want to walk across Abbey Road. Wayne, I won't forget about that, but let me think about it, okay? Let me think about that. I want to look that record up, and before I commit to a price, I hadn't got to look it up myself. So I will let you know, Wayne, on the Adam Hart Mother, okay? I won't forget about you, and I know you won't let me forget either. Thanks, everybody, and good night. We got to start working on some paperwork, cleaning up. Well, Tanner does. I got to start cleaning records and pricing records. So thanks, everybody. We'll be back tomorrow at 7 o'clock, and we will see you then.